Iraq is free. The streets of Haditha and Hit, the Al-Anbar province, the Wild West, people can walk down the streets like Grosse Pointe. It's not America. It was never meant to be America, in my opinion. But it's Iraq, and the Iraqis are deciding what's going to go on with their lives. So for me, Iraq's a victory. The Iraqi armed forces, they're doing the best they can. And there's some good people over there. And we believed in them. I believed in them. When Master Sergeant was over there, he believed in them. So we've gotten rid of the terrorists. We've gotten rid of the thugs. And we're going to let them decide their own destiny. It might not have been pretty. It might not have been popular. But we're moving on from Iraq. Now I'd like to say where we stand in Afghanistan. For the Marines, we have 10,000 Marines parked over there right now. The 2nd Marine Expeditionary Brigade. What's that mean? Once again, we've chosen another garden spot to set up. Helmand Province. It's the drug capital. 90% of the drugs come out of Afghanistan, come out of the Helmand Province. Now they're meeting up with Lance Corporals in the United States Marine Corps. 90% of those drugs go to Western Europe. They're funding the fight over there. It's our goal, the Marine Corps' goal, that's over there with 2nd MEB, is to get rid of these folks. The fight in Afghanistan is a counterinsurgency, ladies and gentlemen, and it's ugly. Our president has said that, our chairman has said that, and our commandant has said that. We need to separate the bad guys from the people. We need to give the people the opportunity to make their decisions. We need to eradicate what I consider was a sanctuary that brought us 9/11 and all those guys. That's what we're doing in Afghanistan. That's what the Marine Corps is doing. I can't tell you anything above that because, once again, I'm just a lieutenant colonel. But I can tell you what the Marine Corps is doing. And we're at 10,000 now. If the president makes a decision to increase it, we could be to 20,000. And that's what Marines do. We fight America's battles with our allies, with the soldiers, the sailors, the airmen, and Marines. One team, one fight. And I can tell you right now, they're doing great stuff over there. They understand their mission. They understand it's going to be difficult. But they understand what they're coming back to. They understand that you all are behind them. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'd like to say, why is someone joining the United States Marine Corps? Why is someone joining the Navy? Why is someone joining the Army, the Air Force, the Coast Guard? What makes their decisions? I'm going to make some assumptions about some of the people in this room, which Master Sergeant told me not to do. Some of you joined the Navy or the Armed Forces because of Pearl Harbor. Some of you joined because communists streamed over the border and overran Korea. Some of you joined during Vietnam because you had to or you wanted to. You knew it was the right thing. Some of you came through the Cold War. Some of you joined because of Beirut, Grenada, Somalia, Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Why are these kids joining? I'd submit to you they're joining because of 9/11. Your average recruit walking in Parris Island right now was 9 years old at 9/11. Your average officer walking out of the basic school was 13. They have choices. A pessimist might say they're joining because there's not jobs. And I would say to them, you're underestimating your young men and women. These folks could have gone to college. They could get jobs. They have diplomas. They have clean records. They're just Americans that are going out to do the right thing, what they feel is the right thing, so America can go on. Those young men and women understand that they're going to be deployed. They're going to be deployed 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But I tell you now, that's why they signed up. They know what they're getting into. They understand that. And you say, why'd they join? They joined because of you. You in this room. You've set the standard. You've set the gold standard, what it means to be a member of the United States military. You set the gold standard of what we're expected to do for our nation. On the battlefields. We've seen the movies. We've read the books. We've seen what you've done on Iwo Jima, on Normandy, in the Pacific, Incheon, Da Nang, Hue, Beirut, Somalia, Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Those words have meaning. They don't call to everybody, but they call to some of us. And they're calling to these young men and women to come forward. And the pressure's on, because we know what you've done. We want to sit in this room just like you did. We want to be recognized. We want to know that we've done the right thing. And they've joined to protect their families. Maybe they've joined to avenge a friend they've lost. The USS New York, an LPD-17 that hauls the Marines around, was just commissioned in November. It has 7.5 tons of steel from the World Trade Center. If there's a ship I'd like to be on as we head to face our nation's enemy, that's it. Because that's part of America. That's part of our generation and the generation behind me. This young man back here who's on leave, it's his generation that's going to take the fight to America's enemies. So people of Grosse Pointe, Youngstown, Ohio, anywhere America can live free. That's our goal. But you need to understand you gave us some guidance. You gave us some guidance through your actions. As we got on that airplane or on that ship to deploy, you told us it'd be okay. It's okay to be afraid. You're going to do fine under fire. Things that some of us had never faced. Things that we needed to hear. And you told us it was going to be okay when we came back. You gave us the confidence that we could go over there and fight and win. You gave us confidence in the training, more training than most of you ever had before you went and fought America's enemies. You gave us the confidence that you'd take care of our families, that things that happened before would never happen again, not on your watch. And that allowed us to go overseas and do our jobs. You gave us pride. You gave us pride that we'd face America's enemies and win, that we continue to keep our heads up. You gave us pride when you came back and shook our hand and said, "Good job," for a young guy. That's pride. Nothing means more. Nothing means more to me than receiving a handshake from someone who says, "Good job." Good job from a man or a woman that's worn America's cloth, that knows what it means and appreciates it. That means more than any ribbon on my chest than that. Now I'd like to talk to you about our new warriors. Where are they coming from? The new veteran. They're joining for a challenge too. This is a different breed, but a good breed. I'd submit to you close to what you were, maybe back in your day. They're just a newer version. I'm not saying a newer and improved version, just a newer version. Only 1% of America is involved in the United States military at the moment. Back in the Second World War, it was 10%. There's some concerns that there's a disconnect between America and the military. No longer will